I think my day went great overall. I was looking to improve on all my numbers, specifically the 40, the vertical, the shuttle, and the L drill. So did a little bit better on those. My strong suit was, the routes and the drills. So the football stuff, that's why I'm here. That's what I do on the day-to-day. That's what you guys have seen I've had success with. So after all the track stuff was over with, I felt relieved because I got to do what I came here to do and what I do best. So overall, I felt like it's a great day, and it's in God's hands now. So I can stand up here and smile and say I gave it my all.
Is it tough doing the combine and this so close together?
I like it. I didn't do as great as I wanted to. I felt like I did good at the combine, but I had it sitting over my head for a few days, and I felt like the faster I can get back on the field and show them what I can really do, the better. Time between things isn't good for me, but for some guys, it works. So to answer your question, for me, I like it. I didn't have a problem with it.
How did you do it? How did you improve so much so quickly? Like, was it just, what did you do from a physical standpoint? What did you do?
Yeah, well, first, I'm home. I feel more comfortable. I get to wake up on my schedule. I get to do things my way, whereas at the combine, you're sitting for 3 days. You don't get a chance to work out. And even on the day of the combine, we wake up, we have bench in the morning, and then we're sitting around for another 3 days. So I'm sitting around for 6-7 hours compared to here. I wake up, I'm a morning person. I have my coffee, eat my food, and I'm on the field. So those little things matter. And then when you have things going your way, you're able to relax, focus on the little things that you need to tune up, and then everything overall starts to feel better. You knock out one thing, and then you build confidence for the next, and the next thing you know, you're in a groove. So I felt like I had that today, and I'm glad it showed.
When you make the hospital visit and you're a fullback, you feel like they look you over more than other positions almost? Like, this guy's been banged around a lot more than most people probably.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure. I will say nobody tells you how long those days are in the hospital. That I was not expecting that, man. I think I was in the hospital for about 8 hours, including from 11 to 11.
By average.
11 to 7. My X-rays, MRIs. But honest, to answer your question, it doesn't matter what position you're at. You could say you had a sprained ankle 6 years ago, you're getting an MRI. If you got a bruised labrum or something, you're getting an MRI. And so they're going to do their due diligence. They're going to make sure that whoever they're giving the millions of dollars to is worth giving those millions of dollars. And it is what it is. There's not many professions that you get this opportunity. So I respect it. It's just something that you got to do. Not necessarily something that I like, but I did it.
And that was day one, right?
Yeah, that was, I think hospital day was day 2.
Okay. So you hadn't run or anything at that point?
No, I was in hospital from 11 to 7. Then I had interviews from 8 to 11:30. So long days over there in Indy.
Strike folks as someone who go with the flow on the interviews.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that at all, or is it also kind of a grind?
Yeah, I got a lot of experience doing interviews. So between my podcast and up here talking to you guys, it's just something else that I felt confident going into. I feel like I speak fairly well, and I have enough confidence in myself to, even if they want to throw me off on a question, I feel like I'm witty enough to answer in an appropriate way, and I think I did a good job on that. I felt like that was my strong suit there.
Do they try to
Oh yeah,
sidetrack?
yeah. They'll try and throw you some lobs, see if you'll take the bait, see if you'll talk down on your teammates, ask you about football plays. Say you drop a play, they'll say, "What if this happens? What if that happens?" Knowing that doesn't normally happen, they just want to see how you respond. So I think I did a good job of that.
What positions are you with the tight end? H-back, fullback, what position they are?
Yeah, whenever I got asked that question there, I'll just say playmaker. Preferably after my first contract, maybe they'll call me a tight end so I get paid a little bit more. So yeah, I'm a tight end for sure in that aspect. But honestly, it just depends on where I go. Some teams need a true hand in the dirt fullback. Some teams need an H-back. And I don't really want to label myself and put myself in a hole because I can do a lot of things. And with that comes anything and everything, and I'm prepared for it.
You've been in that program a long time. Has it been tough transitioning out, or has
I'm a little bit lucky. I have the podcast and get to talk to Braden and have those guys on every single week. So in a way, I'm still attached. And coming back here, it feels like I'm back on scholarship. I'm back here talking with you guys. I'm back in the facility, cracking jokes, talking to the coaches and everything. So it's definitely a change when you leave because you no longer have that camaraderie. You're pretty much working for yourself. You're with another group of guys, but it's not the same as being here at OU. The caliber of guys here is like none other. And so that's definitely something I miss. But at the same time, this is a new chapter in my life, and I'm excited for what's to come. So making the adjustments and trying to have fun along the way.
How much longer does the podcast have?
The podcast is renewed, at least through this season. So I'm not sure how much longer after that. I'm still figuring out a way to keep it going. I want it to keep going, but I don't necessarily want to be hands-on all the time. So it's like a business. I'm going to break away at some point, just a little bit, but it's my baby. If anything, I'll hand it down and see if somebody else can keep it rolling. But I'm still thinking it through.
Braden's mind are going to be on different things next year.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how you guys are going to handle that?
Yeah, well, Braden has just seen me go through that process, so I'm going to help him out this time next year. I'll be on the team and having a lot more free time. So I'm hoping so. I'm hoping I'm not preparing for another combine next year at this time.
What will I mean, like this fall?
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, we'll just handle that when we get there. So I got some plans, though, for the podcast, and I think it'll keep going.
I remember I asked you before the year, like what you were doing media-wise. You said you just wanted to keep your name, out there. I would say that you accomplished that with the podcast.
Yeah.
Was it a positive reaction from NFL people that do you think that guys were going back through and scouring your podcast to see if they could find anything that tell them about you?
Yeah. Believe it or not, there are definitely a few scouts that even came today that listened to the podcast. And each I'd say in 10 or 12 of the interviews that I had out of the 32 teams at the Senior Bowl, somebody mentioned the podcast. So I like it because it's a way for them to get to know me. There's no pressure when I record the pod, so they get to see how I truly am. And I'd like to say that I put good content out there for people to, see who Jay Hall is. So I'm glad I have it.
You and Braden sort of introduced the world to Caleb,
Yeah.
right? So I'll ask if you still keep in touch with him, and if so, how he's doing out in LA.
Yeah, I'll text him every now and then. He seems to be good, to be adjusting well. I think he made a smart decision. In my mind, if he had went anywhere else, then he would have had to start over. And so he went somewhere where he felt comfortable. Sooner Nation may have their own thoughts, but as a player, you got to be selfish sometimes. And he made a decision where he felt comfortable, where he felt loved. When I was coming out of high school, the best advice I got was go where you feel loved. And he went where he felt loved. So kudos to him. He's doing good.
A lot of football, older fans, they see all the movement of players,
Mhm.
stuff you get used to. How's the players see that? When you see all the movement of players?
Yeah, so times are changing a little bit, especially here with the NIL deal. Players are a little bit more self-centered, self-focused. But at the end of the day, from my perspective, you have to go out there and play football. Somebody not too long ago asked me how players approach NIL, and I said, hey, you can't approach NIL if you're not playing. If you're not in a position to take advantage of it, first, in order to be able to do so, you got to handle your business on the field. And so that's a second thought. Football, at the end of the day, you got to go out there and be on that field. So that's first. And then everything else is second. If there's some type of change, like Caleb did, he handled his business on the field, then you can look up and see what options you have. But if you're not performing, then you got to handle that first.
Along the lines of what Darren asked about Caleb, what about Spencer and Austin and reuniting with a guy that I know you
Yeah.
really enjoyed playing for?
Yeah, Spencer and Austin made a similar decision. They went where they felt loved. They went where they felt comfortable. And honestly, I'm a little bit biased, but going to go play for Shane Beamer is never a bad decision in my mind. I wish I had one more year to go play with him, especially him at the head coach position. So I'm pretty sure those guys are going to thrive. I'm pretty sure Austin's going to have like over 100 catches this year. And so I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm looking forward to Shane having success over there. And I wish those guys the best.
How much do you talk to or text with Lincoln?
I've talked to Lincoln a couple of times, specifically early on and my process. I haven't spoken to him here recently. I'll probably get a text from him between now and the draft. But he's been out there doing his thing. I've been out here doing mine. Regardless of what people may think, I'm always going to be appreciative and grateful for Lincoln because he gave me an opportunity to come here, and the reason why I'm standing here in front of you today.
Everyone's world was upside down, right?
Yeah.
28th and 29th, with all that was going on. Can you get a sense? Well, I think you can because he's talking about being connected still to the program. How much of a sense do you get that everything has stabilized and is heading certainly the right direction since?
Yeah, I think that OU is in a great position. I think Josie did a great job of bringing in Venables. Venables has done a great job of bringing in a completely new staff with similar ideas. You can tell they're all on the same page. I went into the offensive room and defensive room yesterday just to meet everybody, and I don't have everybody's name down just quite yet, but everybody seems like they're on the same page. They know what they're doing. I went and watched practice, specifically the offense. They're moving fast and looking good. So I have all the faith in the world in Venables and what he's bringing into the program. I love the advocacy for the players. I love the dinners. I love the Normatex. It shows that the staff is going out of the way to provide for the players an experience that they didn't have in the past. They're, maybe bumping heads with the people upstairs. Who's in charge of what's Toby's job? Yeah, compliance a little bit, but it shows that they're like, hey, like we want to, give the players this and give the players that. And that fight that they have for the players is going to show on the field because when a player senses that in their coach, much like I did for Shane, they're going to want to play and practice even harder.
Any more questions for Jeremiah?
Yeah, back to the combine.
Yeah.
Is there a player in your position group that you need to see out to?
A player at my position group. That's a hard question, man, because that tight end room was deep. I got a chance to see Charlie Kolar in person. I got a chance to see Trey McBride from Colorado State. Let's see what other ones were out there. Connor Hayward. I used to play basketball with him back in the day. He plays the H-back position. So those three guys stand out in my mind, specifically because I know two of them personally. And then Trey, he won the Mackey Award this past year. He's just a great athlete. So those are definitely my three.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.